Hello, and greetings to you. It has been a while since I have wrote or shared anything, and I have seen so many posts and shares from many women and some men on this subject. I wanted to share from my perspective on the subject since I haven't heard from this side, and I thought others might relate to my point of view. I am sharing how I feel about this from my heart, and my words are not meant to hurt or upset anyone, and I hope you would read with an open heart as well. First, we should establish the facts and what actually happened on June 24th with the Supreme Court's decision with Roe v Wade. From Wikipedia, Roe v Wade, 410 U.S. 113, 1973, was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion. The Supreme Court decided this ruling trumped any state laws and opened the floodgates for abortions to be performed more easily and more readily available in every state. It made the woman's health the most important and the fetus life secondary and dispensable. What happened on Friday is the Supreme Court ruled it was unconstitutional for them to make a law that should be up to the individual states. It was originally up to each state to make their own law and restrictions according to abortion, and after almost 50 years, they gave that right back to the state. Secondly, the definition of an abortion is the termination of a pregnancy by the removal or expulsion of an embryo or fetus from the uterus, resulting in or caused by its death. The definition of death is the action or fact of dying or being killed, the end of the life of a person or organism. Therefore, the very meaning of abortion is to end a life in the body of the mother till death, which by definition does include being killed. Third, according to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, every year in the world there are an estimated 40 to 50 million abortions. This corresponds to approximately 125,000 abortions per day. In the USA, where nearly half of pregnancies are unintended, and 4 in 10 of these are terminated by abortion, so there are over 3,000 abortions per day. 22% of all pregnancies in the USA, excluding miscarriages, end in abortion. Now with my personal view on this subject and to share my personal journey. I am now 44 and I have not had children. This was not by choice, and it has been a constant shadow for all of my adult life. My husband and I got married very young, where I was just 18. I had wanted to be a mother and a wife all my life, and most of my dress up and play as a child was taking care of baby dolls and being a mother. We got married in August of 1996, and I got pregnant in October of 1996. Looking back now, I had no idea it would be the one and only time I was a mother, and I did not truly treasure it like I should at the time. I had no complications, but I never felt pregnant, and I never had morning sickness or change in my body. December came, and Christmas week was a hard one when I started spotting. Christmas night, after family dinner together, my bleeding got heavier, so we went to the hospital. Next transpired one of the worst nights of my life when I had a miscarriage. The details are very upsetting to remember, where I had to have a suction D&C, which was a surgery to remove the fetus and any tissue remaining after my miscarriage. For a year after that, with every period, I had horrible pain and so much discomfort I would spend hours in bed, still and completely immobile. I had gone to a clinic about 3 months after the miscarriage, and they checked me and said I was fine, just keep monitoring myself. After some time, the pain eased and life moved on, and we started trying again. Unfortunately, my body was no longer equipped to produce a child. There was damage done at the hospital with my procedure, and I never got pregnant again. This is the part that not many women have had to go through, so some may not understand. My husband and I will celebrate our 26th anniversary in a couple of months, but we are always reminded that's 26 years of no children together when we both shared a dream of a family together. That's watching girls all around me that I worked with or went to church with, getting pregnant, some excited, some not, and having babies like their bodies are supposed to do. That's buying more pregnancy tests than I can count when a few days late, only to confirm once more there is no baby. That's trying to do an adoption in 2010 that completely fell through and crushed our life one more time, that there is no baby. It's working in daycares, making no money just to be around children, and babysitting any time a mother would let me. It's asking every young girl I encountered that was pregnant and unsure, "I'll take your baby for you." It's looking at every mother, so jealous and wanting to share that bond with my own flesh and blood. I absolutely understand that there are situations where the baby or the mother's health are at risk, and according to the original decision in the Roe V Wade case, that was addressed as a factor in every situation. The problem I have, as one who would love a child, even in my older age, some women use this as birth control. It's like running an errand. Gotta go pick up milk, go to the dry cleaners, gotta go get that abortion. Some women want to wear it in pride, like they did something so great. By the very definition, they are ending a life, and they want to brag about it? It breaks my heart that I have to watch these women protest and advocate for the murder of babies when I am begging my body to do what they can, and they have no idea what a miracle they are. I understand that this child is in this woman's body, and I know it will change their life to have that child. But when did it become okay to look at that fetus as just an object and not a growing life that feels pain? Abortion processes are not humane or pleasant, and if you knew the pain you are inflicting on that little life that can't defend itself, you might feel different about your belief. Every life should have a right to love. Just think, you could have been aborted yourself if your mother would have chose and no one would have spoke up for you. Now maybe your state will. Now maybe more babies will have a chance to survive. Our children are the future, and every fetus, every child should have the same rights as you to live and be a human being. I am not a mother to my own flesh and blood, but I feel so strong and want to be a voice for all those babies that were murdered. My baby is in heaven with my grandparents and uncles, but there are over 20 million more babies this year alone that are filling up heaven because women down here on earth don't want their lives upset. Like I said, of course I understand medical issues, but how do we turn our backs on those that kill babies like they don't matter? How do I not speak up for those innocent children, their lives ended due to being an inconvenience? I wish all women knew what it felt like to want a child and not be able to have one. You might look at the whole situation differently. God bless you, and I am pro-life, for the life of the baby and the mother.